Hey there, it's Steve from SeriousKeto.com, and in this video we are going to make an emoji egg. But before we do that, if you enjoy low-carb cooking videos, product and ingredient reviews, as well as lessons learned from my experiences with the ketogenic lifestyle and intermittent fasting, click that subscribe button right down there. And while you're at it, click that bell next to it so you're notified whenever I release a new video. So why would you want to make an emoji egg? Well, if you're into plating and the aesthetics of that, or food photography, they look super cool. And if you follow a handful of tips, they're really not that hard to do. Now, you've probably noticed whenever you've cooked a fried egg or over easy egg or sunny side up egg, that there's really kind of two consistencies to the white. There's a portion of it that sort of clings together right around the yolk, and then you get that runny bit that trails off to the sides. We want to have as much of that cling together sort of egg white as we can possibly get. And the way to do that is first, if at all possible, get your hands on some grade AA eggs. Now, I haven't seen grade AA egg in my grocery store, but they do carry them at Costco. The next best thing you can do is pay attention to the date on the eggs, because the fresher the eggs are, the more that white is going to hold together. In fact, a freshly laid egg at room temperature for 1 day will age as much as an egg in the fridge ages over the course of a week. So we want to make sure our eggs are fresh, and we want to make sure that we keep them cold. How do we know that they're fresh? We look at the side of the box. So if you look right down here, there's a Julian date. That date is 2/11. Now today is 2/14. A Julian date is just the number of days we are into the year. And if you Google it, you can find a calendar. And what you want to do is make sure that you're purchasing eggs that were packed as closely as possible to today's Julian date. Next, you want to make sure that you keep your eggs well chilled. So you never want to store your eggs in the door of your fridge. You want them in the coldest part of your fridge. So towards the back, on its lowest shelf as possible. For the emoji egg, you're going to want to use a non-stick pan. If you've got a really slippery, well-seasoned carbon steel pan, that may work as well. But this is one of those instances, even though I love cast iron and I love stainless steel, I tend to go non-stick when I'm doing eggs. Our first step is going to be to drain away that runny white away from the clingy together white. I tried Googling to see if there were names for those two different types of whites, but no, they're just all called egg white. You can do this either with a slotted spoon or a colander. Colander works well if you're doing lots of eggs. So you can see on this egg, we've got a pretty good chunk of white there that's hanging right around the yolk. If you're using a slotted spoon, you'll find that rubbing it against a paper towel will help take care of a lot of that excess runny white. I'm going to transfer my egg into a measuring cup, just because that'll make it easier to put it onto the skillet. I set the heat to medium-low, and then we want to bring the temperature up to right around 280 degrees. So if you have an IR thermometer, this is how you tell. If you don't have an IR thermometer, I highly recommend you get one. They're super cool. At 280, we'll give it a little spritz of cooking spray, and then we'll add our egg. You'll want to cook the egg until the white is glistening but dry to the touch. That's still a little bit moist. And if you're kind of squeamish about the yolk and feeling that it's not fully cooked, or you want it to just be a little bit more firm, you can add a teaspoon of water and a lid for the last minute or so of cooking. And here we go. The whites are glistening but dry. The yolk I can touch without breaking. Look at that. There's just enough of a membrane over the top of the yolk to hold it together. Let's see how it tastes. Oh, that's some good stuff. The yolk is surprisingly warm. I mean, bordering on hot, which you might not think is going to be the case the first time you make one of these. And there's absolutely no runny white. This is really a gorgeous and delicious egg. So there you go, an emoji egg. Pretty easy to do, yet still an impressive little trick. Thanks for watching.